Boys, quite a few things have happened in the past couple of weeks. I haven't really been covering the dev diaries for EU5 properly, and we're going to catch up today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video, so strap in because this is honestly a lot of really important information if you're hyped out about EU5 that you need to know about. We're going to cover first the 4th of September dev diary here, presented by Johan himself, which is completely dedicated to winter, the season. He gives a general note of how exactly climate and winter basically works. In essence, not every location is going to have a winter, only locations depending on the type of climate that they have. Some climates have winter, some climates don't have winter, like tropical doesn't have winter, for example. So that's basically what determines if they have winter or not. Pretty logical and self-explanatory, I'd say. And the best part is that winter is going to be different for North and South Hemisphere. So that means, as you probably know, Australia has winter when it's summer in Europe, and when it's winter in Europe, it's summer in Australia, for example, right? Like December is basically summer in the southern part of the world, the southern hemisphere, and that's going to be replicated in EU5 also. Right now there's 3 levels of winter. He says technically 4, but no, winter is not really winter, I guess so. And during the course of a season, a location could experience all types of winter: mild, normal, and severe winter. It's not a guarantee, it depends on the location. Some locations might have only severe, some might have only mild, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume that areas like Siberia, for example, are gonna be just severe winter pretty much the entire winter, right? It'll make sense. What is common for all levels of winter is that they affect attrition for your armies. So winter will always kill off some of your soldiers. Interesting. Even if you have enough food? Is it not like Imperator Rome then? That's different. Because in Imperator Rome, as long as you have food, your soldiers don't die from attrition. The second that you don't have food, they start dying off from attrition. So now I guess we have both that system and a separate one where some will always die off to attrition regardless. Food production is severely reduced when winter comes, whilst pops still eat normally. Makes sense. You don't really produce that much food in winter, logically. So you have to stockpile on food, right, for winter. A mild winter is a reduction of 25%. Severe winters reduce food production to 0. So unless there is a lot of food stored in the province, a severe winter may cause starvation in your location. Oh my god, I love that. I genuinely love that. That is the best thing ever. So you're gonna have to manage your food supplies and make sure that your population doesn't get completely wiped out over a winter. And that can also be used as a weapon, if you ask me, where you can starve out a population for a few winters to the point where, by making sure they don't have any food during those severe winters, you wipe out the whole population. So you can essentially clean a province completely, wipe out the whole pops, bring in your people, and that's likely what we're gonna do. That's right. We're gonna replace the entire population of Romania with horses. Yep, I'm replacing them all with horses. We're making Romania horseland. It's gonna happen, I'm telling you now. Constructions. One drawback of winter is that normal and severe winter will impact construction, so mild winter is not gonna impact it. Good to know. With impact, we're talking about stalling them completely. This affects everything from constructing a building to building a ship. It makes the game experience in a country like Sweden or Norway a bit more difficult. It's about time they get some difficulty, okay? Because right now Sweden is just really overpowered, if you ask me, in EU4, as you have to plan around the fact that you lose several months of the year at a time. That is such a cool mechanic. That is actually such a cool mechanic. They thought about everything with this game. I am genuinely so surprised how in-depth and so much detail goes into this freaking game. It's insane. The Mason Hudiksvall is currently stalled, assuming because of severe winter. I'm gonna go ahead and say that normal winter is not gonna stall buildings, probably just gonna make it a lot harder to build. So like you get like 50% increased time of building or something for that period, but severe one's gonna be the one stalls it. Makes sense, right? Freezing seas. That's a new thing, by the way. Narrows, inland seas, and lakes have the possibility of freezing over winter. This can happen when a season has a severe winter for over a week and will then last until winter is no longer severe in that location. Holy mother of God. Talk about tactical gameplay. We go from CK3, which has essentially no navies, to EU5, which has freezing freaking seas, a million types of ships, and all sorts of amazing things. I am so in love with this, honestly. And it's the same engine as CK3, by the way, that they're using, which begs the question, why does CK3 not actually have a proper navy system? Answer me that, huh? A frozen sea zone can be traversed by armies, and this allows greater military control over the land lands it reaches. However, it will cause navies to get stuck until it thaws. Dude. So you'll be able to use your armies to cross over frozen seas. What? Oh my god, dude, this is next level tactics. Actually next level. So essentially, if you want to attack an island, you just wait until it freezes over the water. Basically now, you don't need a fleet anymore as Brandenburg, say for example. You want to take Rupin? It's yours for the taking, boys. Be careful when the weather changes. It can thaw with catastrophic consequences if an army is on the ice. Oh, so we can also wipe out an entire army by baiting them to go on the ice, and then we surround them with our armies so they cannot get off that sea tile until it thaws, and then they just fall into the water and die. Oh my god, dude. I'm thinking about the horriblest things imaginable with this dev diary, I swear. Navies can also not enter any sea zone that has frozen over. Pretty makes sense, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Winter level, severe winter, inland sea, type of region, climate Arctic, and region Scandinavia. Okay, so when Stolbera and Lillbera freezes, you don't need navies to reach Copenhagen. Cool. Is that for the Swedes watching this? I guess so. Mountains. You already know that warfare during winter is a bit more risky, but Project Caesar adds another level to it. Any location with the topography of mountain will be blocked for army movement during severe and normal winter, so you cannot move through it at all. This can help create natural borders and some interesting strategic gameplay. My brother, this entire dev diary tells me the strategic level for EU5 is gonna be over the freaking roof. Like, holy shit, over the roof, my dude. Let's go back in time a little bit to the 28th of August, because this was a pretty interesting one as well. So in EU5, guys, you're gonna have the ability to build in other countries. That's right. Common foreign buildings. One of the buildings you're going to be able to have is the trade office. So EU5 on launch is going to have a feature that Victoria 3 had 2 years after it launched. Despite Victoria 3's main appeal is, you know, building in other countries, influencing other... What is happening here? Am I living in a parallel universe, or is this Victoria 3 actual that we're getting? So in order to build a trade office, you need to have 100 relations with that particular country. This is a good way to get a foothold into another market. The caveat is that the market power is relying entirely on the maritime presence it can provide. Okay, interesting. But then we get maritime presence +1, merchant capacity 0.2, and requires paper, and for construction, masonry, and lumber. This is going to be really good for trade nations like the Hanseatic League and so on, right? Another building is the embassy. They increase your diplomatic capacity by 0.1, lift the fog of war over that location, not country, remember that, that's very important, but it is rather costly to upkeep, requiring lots of paper and jewels. Also take note, not all foreign buildings can be built in an owned location. Some require location has no current owner to be allowed to be built. I'm assuming that's the case with like colonial provinces and so on. One of these is the colonial charter. There you go, exactly. There is a building that will convert 100 pops every month to your state religion if the building is fully staffed and has access to its goods, and that's this one, the mission. Monthly religious conversions plus 100, and requires a lot of stuff actually. What the hell is this? Ant deers? What? Wool? I'm a little bit confused what these two are, but sure. Unique foreign buildings. We have these as well apparently, and this is where it gets actually really juicy. For example, the Hanseatic League has multiple buildings they can build unique to them. One of them is the shipwrights, as they can build in any port of their subjects a shipwright, giving sailors to the owner of the building whilst also increasing the shipbuilding capability in that particular location. So both nations get something out of it. They get sailors, you get extra building capacity for ships. That's pretty cool actually. If you play as a banking country, you can always place a banking office in any town or city, which will give you a small amount of merchant power whilst also giving you a fair amount of gold. You know, I'm realizing quickly that EU5, in order to fully master EU5, you're gonna need a lot more hours than you need for EU4. I know the tutorial is 1444 hours for EU4, but for EU5 it's gonna be 10,000 hours the way that it's looking right now. The amount of little things that it has is just wild. Military orders, like I was saying, juicy bits, and the Catholic faith can set up order commanderies in any location in another Catholic country if they have negotiated a sponsorship. If a country agrees to sponsor a military order, they will gain religious influence, so that you get something, and prestige you get. Each of these commanderies that you build will give you some gold and manpower. So for example here, I'm not sure which military order this is, but they've got order commandery in Vienne, Freisbach, Graz, Novo Meste, a lot of places. 132 apparently, that is a lot of places, and 0.08 ducats, that is huge. Holy shit. So as military orders, you can make a buttload of money from building these around the world, because half the world is Catholic at the start, right? Destroy foreign buildings. So you can also destroy them as well. Requires good relations to build. You also have to the option to destroy them if the opinion of that country goes below 0. This will obviously lower their opinion of you, makes sense, and give them a casus belli against you. Oh my god. So if you destroy a bank in your country, they will get a CB to attack you. I'm not sure how a bank's going to be that powerful to attack you, but well, hold up a second. Bank has money, recruits mercenaries, makes for a very bad day. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be destroying banks, I guess. Other buildings require a peace treaty to be removed, so you cannot just regularly remove them. You have to actually have a peace treaty that enforces that. Wow. Also, when it comes to colonization, so they've made some changes. For the first few months of an exploration, there will be a type of construction in the closest location to you that fits the requirements, requiring goods to progress. So you only get progress for that colony as long as you get the goods for it. So that's in this case here, requirements in civilia to progress: lumber, metalworks, naval supplies, cloth, and liquor. This is the availability. So because you don't have lumber and you don't have liquor, this is not progressing is what I'm understanding right now. Also, they made another change based on feedback from the community where cooldown on assigning generals was not popular. So instead they made a system where it takes time until you get the benefits of a new general in your army rather than having a cooldown for using said general. This time is connected to the travel time it takes from your capital to the army and some extra time for the character to get up to speed. This will make assigning generals and admirals much more of a strategic choice. Fair enough, I guess. One topic that has been raised in various map talks we have had was the lack of ethno-religions. What? Now we've made... Really? Was that? Actually? I didn't see that. Okay. We made it so you can lock some religions from allowing their pops to be assimilated before they can be... I hope that's an option thing, because I don't like that personally. I think that everyone should be assimilated. Just because you're a specific religion, you shouldn't have the ability to never get assimilated. Even Jews get converted to other religions. My family was originally Jewish. I'm an atheist. So, point in case, that shouldn't be a thing, or at least make it optional. Example here, Judaism is part of the Israelite religious group. Clergy, estate satisfaction, equilibrium plus 10%. Pops cannot be assimilated before converted. Oh wait, I'm a monkey. Okay, so what this means is that you have to convert them outside of their religion. So you can convert their religion, but you cannot convert the culture until you've converted from that particular religion. That also doesn't make sense, because just because somebody is Jewish doesn't mean that they're not American or British or whatever. Like, what defines your culture, end of the day, is where you were born, raised, and the values of that particular location. Right? Because if you were born and raised in the UK, doesn't matter you're black, you're Jewish, you're white, you're whatever, you're gonna be a British person that understands British stuff, considers himself British, and sure, you might have some small differences because of your religion or because of race or whatever, like cultural differences, but these are minute compared to the fact that you spend your whole life in that place and you are from that place. So I don't agree with this personally. That's just me though. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments. It does mention there's more than one Israelite religion. Oh, cool. That's nice. That's actually nice. Okay, so we see the different branches of Judaism. That's about it for today, guys. Love you all so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.